I've given so much time to everything and everybody else that I've realized that I really had neglected myself. When is it going to be time for someone to be those things for me?
Welcome to Wine, Wisdom, and What Now? I am your host, Yolanda Holiday, and I greatly appreciate you for joining me for another conversation. Today, we're going to kick it off with the pairing, and the pairing is a Black-owned wine brand that we feature each week. This week, we're featuring a Black woman-owned brand. It's Love Corkscrew is the brand, and it is a Cabernet Sauvignon. So if you're looking for a smooth, full-body Cabernet with notes of black cherries, sugar plum, and hints of vanilla, this is a really good one, and it is found in your local wine stores, Target, Total Wine. Here at Wine, Wisdom, and What Now, we promote Black-owned wine brands. So each week we will feature a different wine that I feel pairs with the conversation, and it's going to be a Black-owned brand. Now, introducing our guests of the day. Today, I'm joined by Fariyda Free Burgess. Free is a mom, a professional, and a woman in the midst of rediscovering herself after divorce and a major life transition. We're talking about reinvention, resilience, and what it looks like to build a new chapter on your own terms. So, Free, I welcome you to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to what I know is going to be a great conversation. But to kick it off, what season of life are you currently navigating?
Whew, so many seasons wrapped in one. If I had to sum it up, I would probably say restructuring.
That's a
Season
good one.
of restructuring, yeah.
And what does that look like to you? What does it mean?
Rediscovering the things that I feel like I didn't do for the last 15 years. As you stated, I'm still currently going through a divorce. So not even quite haven't even signed the papers yet, but we got a couple more months. But rediscovering the things that I want to do, being just back outside, I guess you could say, enjoying myself, just getting back to me, honestly, and then just adjusting to my new normal, which is, life after a 15-year marriage and single parenthood.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So did you just wake up one day and say, "Hey, who am I?" Or how did that look for you?
No, I think I woke up one day and said, I need to get back to me. Like, I feel like there were so many things that I've always been big on self-care, right? But self-care goes so far beyond, spa days and mani pedis and, going to get a wax or something like that. Sometimes self-care days just looks like doing the things that you want to do and the things that you enjoy doing, whether it's just having the time to be able to read a book, watch a show that no one else wants to watch with you, or laying around and doing nothing. And so when I finally dug myself out of that space of what is going to happen, what's next, and finally faced it, that's what I was aiming for. Just focusing on me.
And that
I
is
focused.
something
I've given so much time to everything and everybody else that I've realized that I really had neglected myself.
that's something that women, especially Black women, struggle with because we're so used to it's almost like it's our job to take care of everyone else that we don't stop and look within and we don't stop say what about me. So just
Hmm.
to at your age to know that this isn't right, this isn't what I want for my life, it's empowering.
hmm One day I was talking to my soon to be ex, and I said, I was very frustrated. I don't even know what we were talking about, but I was just like, you know, I literally take care of everybody between my mom, who she's not like elder, but she's like 75, 76, but she doesn't drive. So when she needs something, it's always me. I mean, I'm her technician, so when she has something going on, tech support, I was taking care of and running an entire household, my children. my husband, and I was just like, I am all of these things for everyone, but I realized that when is it going to be time for someone to be those things for me? And that's when I think I really realized like how much I was carrying and how much I did not want to carry anymore.
That's so. Did you feel guilt when you had this conversation, or you started communicating what you were thinking?
Um, I felt a little bit of guilt, but not guilt because of what I was communicating. The guilt was more so, how is this going to impact my children? So it honestly, it was never about me. I was ready. I was already mentally, um I had already checked out. And so it was more of, now I need to physically check out. I need to emotionally withdraw and check out. But yeah, I was a little worried about like, how is this going to impact, except especially my youngest, because she's 7. And this is all she's known. And so it's like, what does that look like for her? And I know everyone says, well, kids are resilient, but that's still a hard pill to swallow.
Right, right.
Hmm.
There is a woman that's listening right now, and she probably is in a similar situation where she feels like life is not enough, but she's afraid of making the change just because maybe the children, maybe the husband, maybe what people will think or say. If you had a couple of minutes to speak into her, what would you say to her?
Girl, sometimes you have to do what is best for you. Sometimes you don't realize how much you are, I don't know what's the word, deprived of your own happiness. And sometimes when you think of the kids, you can't fully be everything for them when you are suffering in silence. And that's what I was doing, suffering in silence. And so sometimes you have to put you first, and there's nothing wrong with putting you first. I mean, you have to be selfish for you sometimes. And if that is going to give you some relief and you are able to release and get back to you, make the best decision for you.
Words, yes. Words that probably need to be heard by many just because, again, we're taught to be selfless. Selfish
Hmm.
has such a negative meaning to it when it's okay to be selfish for you. It's okay to put you first because if you can't be 100% you and show up and feel good, then you really are depriving others of your true self because you're not your true self in that
Hmm.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a
Yes.
people person, and I felt like I had withdrawn from my tribe a little bit. My friends are like, oh, this is your summer right here. And I'm just like, y'all, although it is, I just really want to do things that make me happy, like, even though, yes, I'm going to hang out with my girlfriends and we're going to have a good time. Sometimes I just want, like last night, I took a bachata class. Never even heard of it before. And I took that class, and it was fulfilling. And so I'm doing things without apology and without thinking about what other people think for me.
That's empowering. Again, that is
Hmm.
empowering just because you get to live life on your terms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is something I want all women to experience. I went through something where it shut me down, and then I came back out on the other side, and it's freeing because you're
Hmm.
living life on your terms. So that is, again, it's empowering, and it's not something that many women, at least older women, have done. I find our
Hmm.
generation is doing it a lot more. Where do you get the strength from to do it?
So I have 2 girls. And so the one thing that I know is that both of my daughters watch me. They watch just about everything that I do. I want them to know that you do not have to settle. Like, we are not our grandmothers. And I was not willing to stay. I feel like 15 years, I stayed longer than I probably should have. But I also realized that God keeps you in certain places for certain lengths of time for reasons. And so when it was time to move, I moved. But I don't want them to ever feel like they have to settle because of what it may look to others on the outside. Like, that was a fear. Like, I was like, oh my God, people are gonna feel like I'm a failure. Like, I'm very hard. I'm probably harder on myself than most people are. So I was like, people are gonna think that I failed, that I didn't do this. But when I really sat back and thought about it, I said, who cares what they think? I know what I've done. I know what I put into this marriage. I know what I got out of this marriage. And so at the end of the day, I want them to make the best decisions for them. And I want them to see, like, wow, my mom is strong. My mom had the courage to walk away from something that probably wasn't the easiest to walk away from, but she did it. She's still standing and she's still doing good.
Yes, yes. I think that, and just to add to the conversation, that in no way are we saying that men are bad or marriage is bad. I think
Mm-mm.
it's more about we all get to a place where we have to reflect and see what's no longer serving us. And in this situation, if it's no longer serving you, then be true to you and make the changes that you need to make to be
Mm-hmm.
a better you, to be a happier you. A lot of times, I think that society feels if he's not cheating, if he's not beating you, if it's not horrible, why would you leave? But
Yeah.
sometimes mentally, you can't see those things. Mentally, it's just not right for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, um, I just knew I don't feel like I was being loved properly. And I knew, I said, there is someone that will love me the exact way that I want to be loved and that is eager to do so. That I don't have to feel like I am begging you to show me attention, to love me the way that I want. So you're exactly right. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have a cheating scandal or, physical abuse or anything like that. I mean, most people looking in, and I knew it was going to be a shock to a lot of people. They were probably looking in like, well, I've never seen y'all argue. I've never seen that. Yeah, just because you don't see arguments doesn't mean that there aren't underlying issues. And so once as you grow, like I got married when I was 28. So, as you grow and you learn yourself and you learn what you want and what you're willing to accept and not accept, you start maturing. We started really growing apart, and the same things that I wanted, he didn't necessarily want, and we just weren't in alignment anymore. And I realized this is this is not going to work for me long term. I want to grow old with somebody, but not somebody if I feel like you can't love me how I want to be loved.
So, what has been the biggest surprise to you after leaving? The one thing you really didn't plan for or didn't expect that became a reality for you?
That's a good one. Um, coming, so I thought, honestly, I thought that I was going to be sad. I thought that I would miss him a whole lot and I would be lonely being in the house without having a man around. And surprisingly, I have not. I think my friends have been like when I first told everybody and I dropped it in like group chats. and I and I said, listen, I've asked for a divorce. I'm okay. Please don't call me with sad messages. I promise I'm fine. We'll catch up at another time. And so my friends started sending me, like they started checking in on me and I'm like, y'all, like I promise you I'm really okay. I probably had one small little breakdown in, since the time, but past that, like I haven't been I feel the most at peace that I probably have been in 15 years.
Peace. That is,
Yeah.
yeah, that should be the goal for everyone. And that also confirms that you really were ready.
Mhm.
You really were
Yeah.
ready.
Like I don't have anything bad to say about him. Like I think people are waiting to see like what am I gonna say and like, how am I don't have anything bad. I really wish him the best. I want him to find someone that is going to love him and that he is going to love them the way that they want to be loved. I wanted us, and that's what I told him when I had the conversation. I want us to figure out how to have the best co-parenting relationship that we can have because this is at this point it's not about us, it's about
Right,
them.
right, right.
Hmm.
So, if you had to, through these transitions, if you had to send a message to your younger self, what would that message be?
Wait to get married. Wait to get married. People always ask me when when did I know that this wasn't the right place for me? And I told them when I got married. I
Wow.
knew I knew then, and I still went through with it because I felt like you can't bow out now. Like you're here, you're getting ready to cross the finish line, but there was something, and there's someone, was probably God tapping me on my shoulder saying, "Girl, this is not for you." But it was something that was nudging me saying, "Don't do it," and I did it anyway. But I am so grateful. Like I tell people all the time, like everything happens for a reason. You meet people, you collide with them, you form relationships, whether it is, intimate relationships or friendships, and you learn lessons from that. And I don't think that I would have the same level of maturity or wisdom or even insight into what it is exactly that I want now had I not had those 15 years of marriage. And so I'm not. Now I will say, like, I wish, like, whew, I wish I would have, it would have ended a little sooner. But like I said, things happen for a reason, and so I'm very grateful for the experiences and for all of the lessons that I've learned. Which, when you first come out, you think you're going to be mad, you're going to be a little bitter, a little resentful, regretful, and I don't have any of those feelings.
Good. Yeah, I think that when we are going through, we don't know what to expect, and our mind automatically thinks that it's going to be the worst of whatever. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
actually go through, it's like, okay, it's not that bad here. Okay, and I
Yeah,
think that's what keeps us moving forward is we realize that we can handle this. Like this was a good decision. It's hard trusting in ourselves, trusting especially when it's going against what the norm says. It's hard just trusting your gut and saying this is the
absolutely.
right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So in this season, like currently, what does it look like for you?
It looks like not cleaning up after another adult. It looks like, um, teaching my girls to be more independent and to make good decisions, decisions that are best for them. My oldest daughter is 20, and so obviously she's dating. And so I talk to her from the lens of, a person who has dated before and a person who has been married. And, I give her real life advice. Um, for my youngest daughter, it is, I guess, rediscovering what it is for it to just be us. My oldest is in college, so she's away most of the time in DC. And so it's just me and the youngest most of the year, here by ourselves. And so finding things and ways for just us to connect. Um, and still doing mental health check-ins on her to make sure that she's okay. When they say kids are resilient, they never lie because she's doing much better than I thought that she would, and so I'm very grateful for that as well. But it's also doing the things that I've wanted to do that I wanted to do those things with him, and then he didn't show the interest in them, and so a lot of times I just skipped out on doing them altogether. And now it's like, no, if I want to do it, I'm just going to go and do it.
Right.
um, and just letting loose and being me. Like I have game nights a lot more now at my house, and like, come on, let's throw some food on the grill, and I don't have to worry about who doesn't want other people to be around. And it's just, like I said, it is a I feel like I'm in a very peaceful place right now, where I'm really living life on my own terms. I don't have to rush home to make sure that, well, I do have to make sure the little one eats, but I'm not rushing home for anyone else other than other
Right.
than her.
Right.
So yeah,
There are so many women that, again, that are staying just because, and in their mind, they're unhappy because he's not doing, or even in the case of a man, she's not doing. But what we don't understand is happiness really, it's our responsibility. It's not that
mhm,
other person's responsibility to make us happy. Yes, they
mhm,
should make us happy because they're our partner. But if they don't want to do the things that we've been asking, or if they don't want to hear how we feel, what we need, it then falls on us to make the decisions
mhm,
that will lead us to our happiness, not on them. And sometimes people need a
absolutely,
wake up call. They just need to realize that, okay, she was serious or he was serious.
yeah, yeah. I don't think that he probably thought that I would leave, you know. Um, I mean, you spend 15 years of your life with someone and you probably be like, okay, well, we're not arguing and we're not fussing and fighting. And so, eh, but you also can't give bare minimum effort, even whether you're married or not married. Like bare minimum is just, it's not acceptable. So,
Right.
I
Right.
know it was probably a shock to the system, but not my system. I had been living in that I just this is too much for me, or this is not enough for me. So
Right.
yeah.
So, what is it that's in you? Again, because it's so hard for so many to fight for themselves. What do you think is in you that made you realize not only do I want more, I deserve more, and I am going to step out and get more?
I think year after year of asking for more and not getting more, um, but noticing that he could put that effort to other things, other hobbies, other like so he I guess you can call him a botanist, but he loves plants and flowers and things like that. And so he invested quite a bit of money in growing and nurturing his plants. And I would literally see him come home, and sometimes I would be upstairs when he got home from work, but before he even came upstairs, he would go and check on all of his plants around the house and water them and check temperatures and something just snapped in me one day, and I was like, wow, so you do have it in you to be attentive and to show love to something that you're interested and to not only show an interest in something, but to maintain that interest long term. So maybe it's just me. And
Right.
once I think I saw that, something in me, the light went off, and I said, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah, yeah, and just knowing that you deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that women need to see because a lot of times, again, we put ourselves last. Everyone else is more important, but you knew that you deserved it, and now you
Mm-hmm.
really are living life on your terms. You got the lessons because I don't believe in mistakes. I believe that everything happens for a reason, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, even if it didn't work out how we thought it would, there's a lesson in it. And it feels like you've received the lesson and you know that now what you want, what you deserve, and what you're not going to settle for. What does the what now look like for you? So when you look at what's ahead for you the next 3, 5, 10 years, what does that look like?
Eventually, I say this as it's funny, because I said I would probably never get married again, but I am open to marriage again because I believe, like, I don't know, how some people just feel like they're meant to be a husband or a wife. Like I feel like I'm meant to be a wife. I'm jokingly, I'm like I'm just not for the streets, but I do feel like I am meant to be the wife of someone who is deserving because I know what I bring to the table. I know what type of partnership that I want, that I longed for, that I didn't get. And so just taking all of the things and the lessons from the last 15 years and holding on to those and saying, these are the things that I know, that I want to build on eventually with someone.
And so I've been there. So if I wanted to provide a little hope, because we all hear about the dating pool.
Hmm.
I was divorced 7 years ago. So technically, I've been single for 7 years. And
Hmm.
for me, there are some really bad ones, but there are some good ones. But when you have done the work and you have learned the lessons, the one thing I realized is you can be good. We both can be good, but just not good for each other. So
Hmm.
in 7 years, I can say that I think I finally have met my person. But again, it took 7 years. I have
Hmm.
so many stories. I should probably put them in a book of all the bad dates, all the ones that just was, God, what are you doing? Like maybe I'm going to be
Hmm.
single forever. Like this just can't be it. But to provide a little hope, just I would say keep being selective. Stand by what you know you want. That I can say that and I say I think just because it is still new. I don't foresee him. showing up as a different person tomorrow. But it
Mm-hmm.
really has taken 7 years, and being married, knowing what you didn't get, what you did want, what you deserved, and then finally meeting someone that you didn't have to tell them what you want. It's just a natural connection. It is
Mm-hmm.
a really good feeling, but I tell you, it took 7 years, so just be patient.
Yeah.
That is what I say.
Yeah.
Be patient, but know that it is out there. I do believe there is a person for everyone. You just got to weed through a lot of that
You
ain't
do.
it to get to it,
And not settle.
and
Not
not
settle
settle.
because you feel like the first person who, approaches you or reaches out to you is you have to settle for them because they have some of the qualities. Like, no, I have a list. And I know it sounds crazy to say, but I do. I have a list, and like if you don't meet my checklist, I'm not settling. There are going to be strong boundaries. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you can
yeah.
get past all of that. Hey.
And your list might change. Like I had a list in 2022. Apparently, I forgot about it because I found my list like 2 weeks
And it was
ago.
different.
Actually, it was very similar, but I wasn't focused on the list. I was focused more on the what I need. I was focused more on the feeling of it. So, and my list wasn't very vain. It didn't go into he has to be this tall and this build. It was more
Mm-mm.
about character because at this
Mm-hmm.
season for me it's more about character. And so when I found the list 2 weeks ago and I'm thinking about him, I'm like he actually does align with the list, but I guess in 2022 God felt like I wasn't ready. I put the paper up or the list up and went on with life and opened up this notebook years later to go, okay, so the list, I did manifest what was on the list. It just took some time to get here. And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't so focused on it. So when I was meeting people, I wasn't going through a checklist. I was going through, this just doesn't feel right. This just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't serve me. Like, this just isn't it.
Yeah.
And then when I finally did find someone that did unknowingly match the list reappeared. And it was like, okay, so I think the lesson in that was, initially I probably was too focused on a list. Instead of just
Mm-hmm.
listening and feeling and being in the moment, I was like, oh, you don't check this box. So the list disappeared on its own unintentionally, and then it
Mm-hmm.
reappeared back when it needed to reappear.
Yeah. And my list isn't it's not I don't have it written down. It's really more mental. And I'm the same with you where it's like I'm looking at character because I mean, you know how they say like the dating pool is different so different now because women add I think I've seen something on Instagram where it says like marriage is like the last thing for a woman. Like it used to be what women wanted to attain before anything else. But it's like I make good money. I have my own place. I have my own car. Like I have my own set of friends. So I don't need you for all of those things, right? But what I do need is someone who has good character.
Right.
Someone who can meet me where I am. And you got to be. I got a smart mouth, so you're gonna have to be real patient with me. Listen, I'll tell people like, I got a smart mouth. So my list is it's definitely not a superficial list. But it is definitely focused on character
Yes,
and
it
and
is.
and your ability to meet me with those things.
And I think also while in the waiting season, it's also focused on us. Like, where are the things where we can strengthen ourselves? What are the goals we really want to accomplish? Because now, being single, you have the time to really focus on your goals and do the
Mhm.
things that you want to do. That you show up as the whole person that you need to be for this person that also should have a list. Because
Mhm.
while we know what we want, we would want someone that also knows what they want, that has also
Mhm.
gone through, done the work, healed from whatever they needed to heal from, and now they're showing up as their true self.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was an interesting 7 years. I'm telling you, I got stories. I got stories. So again, don't get defeated. And this was the other big thing was in sticking to the boundaries and sticking to it needs to feel right. I think that the noise on the outside from the friends, from the people who are closest to you, eventually they're like, you're just trying to find something wrong. Like at this point, do you really want to date? And so that have you, or it had me questioning myself, like, am I just looking for something wrong? I don't think that's it. I just know that this isn't it, and I know that it's out there. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna let it pass. Again, not a bad person, just not my
Yeah.
person, until I actually get to that point where that person comes along and it's like, okay, see, this is what I was holding out for.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Selective.
may not take
There's
7 years
nothing
for you.
wrong.
It may take two.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know how long it's going to
Right.
take.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't willing to say, all right, after this one, I'm just going to settle. I was more willing to say, all right, maybe I'm meant to be alone. And I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that anyone's meant to be alone, but I was willing in the season of those 7 years to say, this is not it. And I'm just going to, I enjoy life. I found peace. This is just what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to add to the conversation?
I don't know. I don't think that there's anything off the top of my head that I can think of. Um,
Outside of dating,
mhm.
what would you say you are excited about in this new season?
Hmm. This probably sounds no, it doesn't sound crazy, but I'm really excited about redoing my home. Like redecorating with all of the things that I like, without having the opinion of anyone else to weigh in. Um, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about traveling. Um, one of the we did travel a lot together, but not as much as I probably wanted to, and probably because one, I work from home, but even before, so I've been at my current position for 2 years, but even before that, I've always had a whole lot of flexibility in my jobs that I've had, and so and a whole lot of time off. And so, being able to get up and go whenever I wanted to was never an issue, but it was an issue for him because he didn't have the same kind of job. So I felt like I missed out on some places that I really wanted to travel to because it was like you kind of want to go with your person, but then you kind of feel like you're a little bit held back because they can't go, and if they can't go, they can't go for as long as you can. So I'm definitely excited to get back out and start traveling again. Whether it's 2 weeks in Africa or heading over to Japan and even places that maybe he didn't want to go, but I always wanted to go and I didn't. I'm even thinking about, like, we talked about it before, and I was very serious about it. But even moving out of the country is
Wow.
is on
Okay.
my list. Yeah, the United
Okay.
States just doesn't serve me anymore. So
I mean, yeah, we can go
yeah,
down a whole nother podcast talking about what's happening these days. So yeah, I
yeah.
get it.
But doing that, especially because my daughter is so young, and I feel like it's easier to move her now. Like if we did decide in the next couple of years to go somewhere and let her experience different cultures.
Yeah, yeah, nice. I am so thankful for you joining me today. I knew it would be a great conversation. I am excited about your future. I'm excited about all the things that's in front of you, knowing that life's not perfect and things happen. Overall, I think that you are going to be blessed in so many ways just to experience and rediscover life by your own terms. As someone who's gone through it, I will tell you it is so freeing, and the peace that comes with it is just, there is really no word to describe it. And I feel like every woman, they deserve that. Whether you are married, not married, never been married, you deserve that peace. And it's up to you to
Mm-hmm.
find it. And I love to see women like yourself who are identifying what it is you want and then going after it fearlessly,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the talk, regardless of what people are saying.
Yeah, yeah. It helped to definitely have a good support system too. So
It definitely does. It
yeah,
does. It
I'm
does.
thankful
So
for the entire experience. And thank you for having me. This was really good.
I'm glad that you are here. You are so welcome. I feel like there are a lot of women sitting somewhere saying, this is no longer serving me, but afraid to take the next step. And I feel like you are a perfect example for them. Just hearing your true lived experience will encourage someone else to say, I can do this, that this is what, I can do, that I know that
Hmm.
I might not know everything that's going to happen, but I'm going to be okay in the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, thank you for joining. This has been an amazing conversation. I want to thank Free for joining us, for sharing, for being genuine and transparent. And hopefully this has encouraged you. I want you to know that your happiness, that falls on you. It's nobody's responsibility to make sure you're happy but you. Again, I want to thank you for joining me for another conversation. As always, I greatly appreciate you because without you, there'd be no wine, wisdom, and what now. If you have any questions that you would like answered by an expert, please send them in to inherseason@winewisdomwhatnow.com. If you have any questions for me, any comments, feedback about the podcast, or anything else, you can email me directly at questions@winewisdomwhatnow.com. If no one else has told you, you are amazing. Go forth and be great. I am wishing you the best week possible, and I hope that you will join me here again next week. We release every Tuesday at 6 a.m. Have an amazing week. Thank you.